This is the GRILLS wood pellet grill smoker, model 7002C, and I've been cooking on it for 8 months. I wanted something I could trust for long cooks without babysitting, and this one has lived on my patio through hot weekends, chilly evenings, and plenty of family meals. I bought it for the promise of set it and forget it, and it mostly delivers on that idea with very little drama. Assembly was straightforward. I put the cart together solo, then got a hand to lift the main barrel onto the legs. It took about an hour and a bit. The instructions were clear enough, and I appreciated that nothing felt flimsy once it was tightened down. I did the burn-in at high heat to cook off any oils, then lightly oiled the grates. After that, I loaded the hopper, primed the auger, and got to cooking. Key features that matter in daily use are the PID 2.1 controller, the large 697 square inch cooking area, and the big 28-pound hopper. The PID controller is basically a smart thermostat that watches the internal temperature and tweaks the pellet feed and fan speed to hold your set number. In plain terms, I turn the dial to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and it sits there, usually within a handful of degrees. The big hopper means I can dump in a full bag and get through an overnight smoke without refilling. The grill weighs around 113 pounds and measures 26 by 48 by 51 inches, but it rolls better than you'd expect thanks to 2 big wheels and 2 locking casters. The bronze finish looks good, and the powder-coated steel has held up well under the included rain cover. From my experience, the temperature stability is the standout. On a breezy 45-degree evening, I ran pork shoulder at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 hours, and the controller kept it steady with minor swings. Preheat is quick. It reaches 250 degrees Fahrenheit in around a dozen minutes. The LCD is bright enough outside, and the dial is simple. The 2 meat probes are accurate and super handy for ribs, poultry, or a brisket flat. I run 1 probe in the thickest part of the meat and use the other for a second item or as a spot check. Not having to open the lid repeatedly keeps the heat and moisture where it belongs. The smoke profile is lighter than a stick burner or a leaky old offset. In my opinion, that's the trade-off for clean, stable burns. Food comes out juicy and evenly cooked, but if you want bold smoke, you'll probably want a pellet smoke tube. I use one on long cooks, packed with hickory or mesquite pellets, and it gives me the deeper aroma and bark I like on ribs and pork butt. On quick cooks like wings or salmon, the grill's own smoke is enough for my taste. Cooking results have been very consistent. Ribs set a nice mahogany color and stay tender without falling apart. Pork shoulder pulls easily and stays moist. Whole chickens at 375-400 degrees Fahrenheit get crispy skin and juicy meat. Burgers are great. Steaks are good, but this isn't a direct flame sear machine. It tops out around the 450-500 degree Fahrenheit range, so for a hard sear, I drop a cast iron skillet or a set of sear grates over the heat diffuser and let them preheat. That extra step gets me the crust I want without switching to another grill. The day-to-day convenience features help more than I expected. The hopper's view window makes it easy to see if I'm low on pellets. The hopper cleanout chute lets me swap flavors fast, which I do when moving from a strong wood to something lighter for poultry. The grease management system is simple and works. I line the drip tray with foil before a cook and toss it after. Every few cooks I pull the grates and baffle and shop vac the ash from the fire pot and barrel. It takes a few minutes and keeps ignition snappy. Pellets absolutely need to stay dry. When I used a bag that sat open in the garage, I had a minor pellet bridge and the temp sagged. I stirred the hopper and it recovered, but now I store pellets in sealed containers and haven't had that issue again. Ergonomics are mostly good, with a couple quirks. The side shelf is useful but small. I added magnetic hooks to the side for tongs and a brush, and I wish the grill had tool hooks built in. There's no lower cabinet, so I keep my pellets in a bin nearby. The lid feels solid and seals well. One tip, I zip-tied the power cord along the leg so it can't droop near the barrel. That just keeps things tidy and safe. Durability has been fine for me so far. 8 months in, the controller is stable, the auger runs smooth, and both probes still read correctly against my handheld thermometer. The powder coat still looks fresh under the cover. I've read mixed stories about long-term reliability and customer support from other owners, so I'll keep an eye on it as I pass the 1-year mark. For now, mine has been reliable. It's perfect for anyone who wants reliable backyard barbecue without mastering airflow and fire management. If you like the idea of loading a hopper, turning a dial, and getting consistent results on ribs, pork shoulder, chicken, and even pizza, this checks those boxes. It cooks like a wood-fired convection oven with a steady personality. I'd recommend this for beginners who want to learn barbecue with less stress, busy home cooks who want to put food on and go do other things, and value-minded buyers who appreciate that it comes with 2 probes and a fitted cover. If your goal is heavy smoke and thick bark with little effort, you'll want the smoke tube add-on or a different style of smoker. If you live for ripping hot, direct flame searing, this isn't that type of grill, though you can get creative with cast iron. In my opinion, the 7002C nails the promise of easy, predictable pellet cooking. The PID controller is the quiet hero, the large hopper reduces refills, and the view window plus cleanout make pellet management painless. The trade-offs are a milder smoke profile by default, limited storage, and a sear that takes a bit of technique. None of those have been deal breakers for me. A few quick notes from my timeline. My first brisket on this held at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 hours and finished with a nice smoke ring after I added the tube. Thanksgiving turkey was a highlight. The skin crisped up and the breast stayed moist. Weeknight cooks like wings at 400 degrees Fahrenheit have been super easy, and I like that I can start from cold and be cooking fast. The grill hasn't missed a beat in light rain with the cover on afterward, and moving it across pavers is simple with the big wheels and the locking casters to park it. In conclusion, the GRILLS Wood Pellet Grill Smoker 7002C has been a steady, user-friendly cooker for me. It's not flashy, but it's consistent, and that matters when you're feeding people. If you're okay with a cleaner smoke style or willing to boost it with a tube, and you want the convenience of a smart controller and a solid package, this is a strong pick. I'd buy it again for the way it simplifies long cooks and lets me focus on the food, not the fire. I will leave detailed information about the GRILLS Wood Pellet Grill Smoker in the comments for your reference. Thank you for watching.